Introduction. The evil Saurian is an enormous green alien creature. Reptile is a cunning, evil, snake-like adversary that accidentally made an appearance in Mortal Kombat and went on to become a staple of the gory battle genre. More than simply a weird Scorpion Sub-Zero hybrid, he has developed into so much more. Like the other Rainbow Ninjas in the series, Reptile has evolved into a snake of evil from another planet with a distinctive appearance, combat style, and attitude. As a result of his fangs, claws, acid spit, and snake-inspired kung fu, Reptile has appeared in almost every episode of the show. One of the series' most well-liked characters is without a doubt Reptile, but let's allow this top character to take center stage. Reptile has many of the same quirks, odd design choices, glitches, and other issues as many of his video game counterparts. None of these limitations make him worthless, however, but they do make us wonder why the video game designers decided to put our scaled friend in the arena. Over the years, Reptile has slithered his way out of some pretty strange circumstances, including a complete species shift and a new fashion faux pas. Let's strip one of our favorite enemies of its scales and see what strange things occur. Remember, bring the antivenin. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a whole lot. So thank you, and let's begin. History of Reptile. A character from the Mortal Kombat fighting game series is Syzoth, also known as Reptile. He is one of the few recognizable characters that first appeared as a secret character in the Mortal Kombat arcade game. Reptile has long been renowned as a devoted follower of the Outworld Empire, serving Shang Tsung as well as the Outworld Emperors Shao Kahn and Kotal Kahn. He first debuted and could be controlled in Mortal Kombat 2. Reptile, a green-clad combination of a reptile and human, epitomizes the bitter underdog. On the exterior, he is thought to be the nasty and filthy one, but he is renowned for his incredible stealth and unshakable loyalty. Reptile, unlike many other henchmen, is neither naturally evil nor motivated by a desire for power. His fixation on finding the last of his race or freeing Zaterra, his homeworld, from the Outworld's rule makes him mad. He therefore continuously upholds Shao Kahn's principles in order to survive and reach his goal of returning Zaterra to its previous splendor. He has wonderful intentions, but sometimes his passion drives him insane. After Shao Kahn dies, he changes his alliance to Kotal Kahn, helping him usurp Melina's realm, whose rule he finds repugnant. The first secret character to appear in a versus fighting game was Reptile, a hidden character in the original Mortal Kombat game. He would emerge and leap into the center of the screen before fighting with his opponent and standing in the Sub-Zero winning pose. Messages like "Look to la Luna," which translates to the moon in Spanish or Italian, "Alone is how you locate me," "Perfection is the key," "Tip et faux motab," and other similar phrases would flash over his head. He could only be found in the single-player game mode, which is called Bottom of the Pit backwards. In Mortal Kombat 2 and the Mortal Kombat trilogy, Chameleon and Smoke both can proclaim, "I am Reptile, find me." He was a cross between Sub-Zero and the original Scorpion, and he could use either character's attack. Reptile was formed when Sub-Zero and Scorpion were united into one character and given the color green, since yellow plus blue equals green, according to Mortal Kombat co-creators John Tobias and Ed Boon. In an interview, they made this assertion. Due to his green coloring and their reference to reptiles, they dubbed this figure Reptile. He had character development before the release of Mortal Kombat 2, although it wasn't much at the time. Reptile returned for the second competition with his special strategies that could be applied right away. Unknown is Reptile's exact age. Tens of thousands or even millions of years have been put up as estimates. However, it is known that Earthrealm came dangerously near to being destroyed during a battle between the gods millions of years ago. Later, Shao Kahn, the ruler of Outworld, invaded and subdued Zaterra when Saurian raptors from the realm of Reptile arrived there. As was Kahn's tradition when conquering a new globe, the ensuing battles resulted in the bulk of Zaterrans being murdered, leaving only a tiny number of individuals. Reptile belongs to or was related to this group of survivors. Unlike other members of his species who were confined as slaves, Reptile had been taught to serve Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung. Zaterra was ruled by a race descended from Earthrealm known as Saurians long before Outworld occupied Zaterra as a result of Reptile's Saurian race's 10 straight Mortal Kombat wins. Previously, a matriarch controlled it. When they are apart from her for a long time, the Saurians lose the ability to maintain a humanoid appearance and their minds regress to a lesser level. She thereby has a significant effect on the other Saurians. Ex-Reptile soldier said that Shao Kahn thought the Saurians were the ideal allies in Mortal Kombat Conquest since they prevented the extinction of Zaterra. In the television show Mortal Kombat Conquest, Zaterra is seen to have a lot of rain on that planet, which also has thunder and severe rain. A few transparent Saurians lurk among the trees, broken statues, and ancient ruined sites. In the unknown period after Zaterra was conquered by Outworld, the vampires of Natara still maintained records of their former life. Given that the known Saurians seem to have forgotten everything about their home world, Zaterra may have been invaded. Before the horrific wars between Shinnok and Raiden, the Saurians lived in the realm, but their actual home was Earthrealm, from which they were exiled. The 3 reptile forms are seen in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance's crypt in a marshy area with what seems to be an old structure built of stone or maybe bone, giving players an idea of how the planet might look and how primitive the technological level is. In one of Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realms episodes, the item Gen of Tetsuri may be seen. The thing in question was found to be Tetsuri's heart, the former king of Zaterra Crystalline, rather than a diamond. Between Mortal Kombat games, Reptile's design varies. In MKT, he manifests as a human. If both players choose him in the opposing mode, this form is accessible in Shaolin monks. In MK4, he is a cross between a lizard and a human. In Deadly Alliance, he assumes the most animalistic look of all time. It's possible that Reptile's betrayal as a human in Conquest and Sindel's deception was an error. For Armageddon, he recycles the ideas from the Shaolin monks and the Deadly Alliance. In MK 2011, he adopts a striking barefoot reptile appearance. In MKX, he was given a 2-piece mask that allows him to open his mouth and spew acid without taking it off. He usually dons tribal clothing and never wears shoes. In the original timeline, Reptile, Shang Tsung's bodyguard, looks in the shadows and dissuades would-be attackers. He is claimed to be a frightening reptile monster whose species was thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago, but is hiding under his human guise. He enters the contests intending to prevail and uphold his lord. The compliant Reptile serves as Shang Tsung's bodyguard during the first contest. Being an expert in stealth, he managed to remain undetected while keeping a careful check on Shang Tsung as per his duty. He didn't fight often, but when he did, he was quite good. He employed a range of uncommon abilities in addition to his skill in battle to make him a fearsome foe. He was personally given particular missions by Shao Kahn, who had previously promised to rescue the remaining slaves of his race in return for his unwavering obedience to his commands in exchange for him guarding his master against Pearl. Nobody knows why his homeland Zaterra disappeared centuries ago. It is not existing in the modern period. He is a reptile and the last of his kind. He has lived in Outworld ever since. Using the stealth powers of Reptile, Shao Kahn has killed known enemies of the Empire and spied on purported traitors. He is bothered by the fact that Reptile is the last of his kind. If necessary, he will kill everyone to prevent the annihilation of his domain. His anger is driven by self-pity, which results in the suffering and deaths of others. Reptile represents Outworld versus Earthrealm in the 11th Mortal Kombat battle. He competes against Johnny Cage in the first round and loses. After the contest, Reptile, Baraka, and Katana bring Shang Tsung before Shao Kahn, the Emperor of Outworld, to put him on trial for his failure to unite the realms. To the sorcerer's joy, Reptile makes a successful comeback during the second Mortal Kombat game and whispers something to Shang Tsung. Then, in the living forest, the reptile is found. Smoke intervenes to dissuade Kano and Shang Tsung from arguing over the Black Dragon swords. Following Smoke's victory against Kano, Shang Tsung transforms into the senior Sub-Zero and pairs up with Reptile to take on Smoke in a 2-on-1 battle. battle. Shang Tsung and Reptile are defeated by Smoke. Sub-Zero, the younger, must first fight the Reptile ninja when he wants to face Scorpion, who he finally defeats. While the Earth realm is being attacked, a lizard arrives and scales the structure, where Curtis Stryker and Cabal are stationed. As the Reptile spits acid at Cabal and deflects any approaching shots, Cabal is helpless. Reptile and Stryker prevailed in their conflict. He disappears after facing Stryker and losing. What makes Reptile so deadly? At his debut, Reptile employed the powers of Sub-Zero, a descendant of the Cryomancer, and Scorpion, a Hellfire Spectre. By MK2, he had developed his special skills, even if some of them, like his Force Ball and Power Slide, had a faint Sub-Zero-like quality. Reptile appears to take characteristics from several different reptile species. Even as a Saurian, the reptile still mostly resembles a human. Reptilian's mask and the skin that covers it are simply a plausible covering for his true reptile form, much of how Scorpion covered a burning skull. Additionally, he appeared to remove his mask more frequently than Scorpion does. His spit contains potent caustic substances like acid that can easily burn right through steel. He is also capable of concussive blasts, homing energy. Reptile's ability to completely vanish makes him unusual. One piece of art for Deadly Alliance depicts a Saurian as having a predominantly human-like appearance, but the more time they spend apart, the more their human looks decay and vanish until their true identities are revealed. Since it also affects the psyche, the metamorphosis extends beyond the outward appearance. A Saurian begins to regress into primordial rage assaults on both comrades and adversaries when they lose all of their covers. According to the Mortal Kombat X comics, Reptile possesses the power to turn everyone into his immediate vicinity invisible. He was able to sneak D'Vorah, Farah, and Tor behind Red Dragon warriors guarding Goro to launch a surprise attack using this skill. In MKX, Reptile's noxious version makes him emit a green toxic gas that hurts opponents even if they only approach him. In the nimble form, he possesses the capacity to move and attack at exceedingly rapid speeds, much like some kinds of lizards. Reptile in Mortal Kombat 1995. After escaping Reptile's attack, Liu Kang and Johnny Cage reach Outworld and are welcomed by Princess Kitana. By telling Shang Tsung the truth about Outworld and her ancestry, she allayed his anxieties about her. When the three, who were disguised as monks, show up, Sonya is being kept captive in the Black Tower, the Emperor's residence. While Sonya is being liberated by Princess Kitana and Johnny Cage, Liu Kang challenges Shang Tsung to a Mortal Kombat match. After Shang Tsung's demise, all the warriors who lost their lives in the conflict and had their souls absorbed, including Liu Kang's late brother Chan Kung, were freed from Shang Tsung's captivity. Liu Kang and the realm of Earth triumphed this difficult struggle. Reptile in other media. Reptile appeared in the Mortal Kombat video game. He appears as a bipedal lizard humanoid in the film. Shang Tsung had told Reptile, who at first pretended to be a statue, to keep Liu Kang and the other humans away from Kitana. He once manages to observe Liu Kang undetected from the shadows of a huge tower before attacking him with acid. Liu Kang and Johnny Cage come upon the reptilian beast while trying to save Sonya in the Outworld, and Liu Kang then crashes it into a monument. The reptile changes into a human ninja after being absorbed by the statue. Despite not being in the game, Reptile is mentioned in the third episode of Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. In the same episode, Komodai, another Saurian who resembles Reptile, also makes an appearance. Even Sonya refers to him as Reptile in the closing moments of the program. When a short relay of Reptile's battle with Liu Kang is shown during the opening narration of Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Reptile makes a cameo appearance. The Earth Warriors are also attacked by three ninjas dressed as reptiles. Due to their similar attire and skills, it is believed that these three belong to the same species as reptiles. The first two are battled by Raiden and defeated, while the third is noticeably absent but is likely also defeated off-screen. In Mortal Kombat Rebirth, Richard Dorton portrays the Reptile. Reptile, a cannibal criminal who frequently beheads his victims, is shown in the movie. He does have a Harley Quinn type ichthyosis, which causes his eyelids to curl inward and give him skin that looks like scales. Despite not being a Saurian ninja, he waits until he is particularly hungry, then eats the severed heads of the victims piece by piece. However, it became clear rather quickly that he was far older than 30. He reportedly lost 10 or more people. Reptile fights Sonya while sporting his MKX armor in Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge, losing his head in the process. Throughout the film, a few additional Saurians also make a brief cameo. One of them may even be spotted with Natara as a tribute to their cooperation in the Deadly Alliance. The Mortal Kombat movie from 2021 features an appearance from Reptile, who appears more as he did in Deadly Alliance, only exclusively referred to as Sazoth. Shang Tsung sends him here to assassinate the Earthrealm heroes. Even though he first defeats Sonya and Cole Young, Kano ultimately ends his life by removing his heart. Martial artist Jean Valera, who mostly played Reptile as his Mortal Kombat movie avatar, performed the character in Mortal Kombat Conquest. Reptilian can change into a disguised reptile shape that makes visual identification difficult. Reptile and the many other members of the species can also do this. They all come from the damp, dreary land of Zatira. In their humanoid forms, they have amazing martial arts skills, and their fanged masks allow them to spit caustic acid. This acid is so toxic that it could even be able to kill Zatarans, as was repeatedly demonstrated in the episode Cold Blood. Reptile first appeared during a Shao Kahn attack that killed a Kung Lao ally and others. He was assigned to help Queen Kriya preserve the Zonian race with Zatarian characteristics, but it was eventually discovered that he had duped the Emperor. The Zatarans joined forces with Kriya to guard her breeding hives as they grew. Warpack steered clear of Kriya after she was slain by Reptile and made queen. After Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn's chosen partner, came close to defending him in combat, he was slain by the invading Shadow Priests. Even though Reptile and Kiri, a Zataran with whom he had a sexual relationship and balance of power, were both slain, it is unclear what happened to the other Zatarans. Reptile is a side character in the Malibu comic series. He never passes up the chance to inform everybody in his vicinity that he is Shao Kahn's subordinate minion, and he has no reaction to Shang Tsung. Reptile is a member of Katana's search team in the Goro Prince of Pain miniseries, which is looking for the missing Goro. In the Battle Wave series, he also makes an appearance and usually interacts adversely with Mileena. His most well-known act in the comics is when he hypnotizes Sonya into marrying Shao Kahn using a skill that was never shown in the games. Marvelous verdict. The series' main character, the green, scaly, slobbering ninja, is in charge of much of it. He was the character to fight when the original game first came out. The attraction eventually wore off over time and he merged into the background like another Reptile. Despite being a recurring character in the program, an unbeatable henchman. Alternatively, a jobber it was. Ironic all the more so when he later evolved into one of the series' key antagonists. Hey, if you liked the content from today, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. And in the meantime, have a good one and be safe. Thank you, everyone.